Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So according to Sky Sports, which is a reliable source, they've said that Jadon Sancho's transfer to Man United from Borussia Dortmund could be now or never. So what it's saying is, if we don't sign him in this summer transfer window, we may never sign him. Now reportedly, the Jadon Sancho deal is off until the summer of 2021. Now, obviously, Sebastian Kell, who is one of Borussia Dortmund's directors, he recently said that Jadon Sancho is staying at Borussia Dortmund because he believes from his own perception that Sancho is happy to remain at Dortmund for at least one more season. Basically, he said the exact same thing as what Borussia Dortmund's CEO said. And he also said the same thing as what Borussia Dortmund's sporting director said, Michael Zorg, because they also said that Sancho will be staying at Borussia Dortmund and the decision is final. So it's actually said, we have given up on signing Jadon Sancho. He did recently say, though, that Man United had agreed a contract with Sancho. But like I've said to you before, throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, it has been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has been the stumbling block. Recently, the personal terms and the agent fee have proven to be an issue. And I think he did recently say that Jadon Sancho would command wages of around £300,000 a week. But Dortmund anyway have said that the one over £100 million, we have said we are not determined to meet their valuation. I think Dortmund's valuation is around £108 million, and they have been looking for like £90 million up front, but we're only willing to pay like £60 or £70 million up front. Quite a few weeks ago, it was looking very, very imminent that Sancho would have been signing for Manchester United because don't forget Fabrizio Romano, who's a very reliable Italian journalist and he's close to Man United. He said that Sancho agreed personal terms with Man United and he said he was set to sign a 5-year contract with a football club worth around 250 grand a week. And obviously that Friday, Jadon Sancho should have been officially a Manchester United player. But obviously, after Fabrizio Romano broke out that news, it said that talks had broken down between Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund. James Cooper, he tends to be close to United. He gave us a positive update regarding Sancho not too long ago. And he said that Sancho still wants to come to Man United. And Man United don't miss out on players that they do intend on signing. But quite a few transfer experts have spoken about this Jadon Sancho transfer saga. But I think, we've come to accept the fact that we're not going to get him in this summer transfer window, and this is the main explanations why we are now looking at more alternatives to Sancho, because I will make an admission, there's much cheaper solutions in him. We have been looking at David Brooks from Bournemouth. He's available for like £40 million. We've been looking at Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona. We've inquired about getting Kingsley Coman on loan. We've looked at Rabbi Matondo from Schalke before. We've looked at Thiago Almeida. We've looked at Douglas Costa from Juventus. So we are now looking at quite a few alternatives. Douglas Costa probably available for around £36 million. But don't forget, we made a promise to Sancho that we was willing to offer him the number 7. We have had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations, but, we have got number 7 vacant at the moment. But we have missed out on players under the Solskjaer era. Obviously, we missed out on Erling Haaland in January. And I said it was a shame that we missed out on him because he would have been Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing. Solskjaer knows the player well because Solskjaer worked with Haaland, during his time with Molde. Solskjaer was the one that gave Haaland his debut at just the age of 16. But Haaland obviously went to Dortmund in January, but it was a cheap solution as well. He was available for like 17 million. We missed out on Jude Bellingham, from Birmingham. He also went to Borussia Dortmund. So it is, a disappointment. But I've outlined the reasons why I wanted Man United to sign Sancho, because he's got a very, very good friendship with Rashford. His runs on and off the ball are very, very good, and he can create chances, and he's a player that can score goals, and he's predominantly a right winner, and Man United do need a right winner. Sancho's enjoyed 3 good years with Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund only paid £8 million for him from Man City back in 2017. But analyse his performances in the few years he's been with Dortmund, his valuation has persistently grown. He did enjoy a few years with Manchester City, but the main explanation why he left Manchester City is because he did not get assured any first team opportunities. Sancho would have been sold in this summer transfer window. Manchester City would have benefited from it, because they would have got around 15% of the transfer fee due to the sell-on clause. Before Sancho was at City, he was at Watford. He was at Watford for several years. I think he was at Watford from the age of 7 to the age of 14. Was Sancho. And is he under the age of 20, or is he 21 years of age now? But Sancho is our number 1 priority target, and I think he's been our number 1 priority target for a while. We've been in for him for a few years. I think we first expressed our interest in him back under the Jose Mourinho era. But we missed out on the deadline to sign Sancho, didn't we? Because Dortmund said we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We failed to meet that deadline, so obviously Sancho decided to go out on pre-season with Dortmund. Dortmund have recruited some good players in recent years. They brought the likes of Julian Braun in, Thorgan Hazard, Emre Can, Haaland and Bellingham. But there's a lot of, they've obviously as well let a lot of players go. They let Pulisic go, they let Aubameyang go, they let Ousmane Dembele go, they let Ukraine Gundogan go, Mkhitaryan, Shinji Kagawa left them at one point, Matt Hummels, Robert Lewandowski. So there's a few players, that Borussia Dortmund have let go. But yeah, I'm actually now going to fully disregard Sancho coming to Manchester United in this summer transfer window. Now, I think Manchester United are losing patience with the board. Obviously, with our lack of transfer activity. Now, like I've said to you, we have been very, very critical of Ed Woodward and the Glazers for several years. Flexing our recruitment policies being, that's one of the reasons. Obviously, Woodward's been at the football club since 2012, so Woodward's been at Man United like 8 years. And the Glazers have been with us since 2005, so they've been at Man United around 15 years. But we need Woodward and the Glazers to give Solskjaer the backing he wants in this summer transfer window. Now, Woodward said quite a few times last season that, he was determined to back Solskjaer and that, his job was safe, even when we went through that really, really bad period. And I think the Glazers said the exact same thing. Now, the summer transfer window has been open for around 4 weeks now, and Manchester United have not yet made any signings. And my element of concern is that these teams around us that are recruiting, you've obviously got Chelsea. They've made very, very good signings so far. They got Hakim Ziyech back in February for around, was it 37 or 38 million pounds. They got Timo Werner from RB Leipzig for around 48 million pounds. So they spent around 80 odd million on them 2 players. I think Chelsea have just recently got Chilwell in. I think they've also recently just got Kai Havertz in. Don't know if it's official, but it's looking like they're going to get him if it's not official as yet. I think Chelsea are also looking to get Thiago Silva in. So they could be in there with a shout for this season. You've got Man City. They've done good recruitment so far. They've signed obviously Ferran Torres from Valencia and Nathan Ake from Bournemouth I think they also signed another player. You've got Liverpool, they recently signed Sikmas from Olympiacos for 13 million. They try to obviously get Thiago. Liverpool obviously want to continue their dominance up. You had Tottenham, they recently signed Holberg from Southampton and they got Joe Hart on a free. Arsenal, they've just recently signed Gabriel Magalhaes from Lille. Didn't they get him for around £27 million? And they recently got Willian on a free. Now, I'm actually unsure what our transfer budget is for this summer transfer window. I read up at the end of last season that our transfer budget was supposed to be around £140 million. He said at the end of last season that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer outlined his transfer plans, and it said, he wants Man United to make at least 3 signings in this summer transfer window. And it said he instructed our board to go and get his preferred targets. And Solskjaer's urged Manchester United to spend a substantial amount. And Solskjaer has identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. Obviously, he said he wants to recommend a right winger in. He's looking to recommend a holding midfielder. We're looking to recommend a centre-half in, despite the fact that we've got 7 centre-halves in the team, because we're looking for someone to go alongside Harry Maguire. Some United fans would like to see a left-back come in. Our 2 predominant left-backs are Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams. So signings are desperately needed at Manchester United because Solskjaer's obviously looking to improve the squad. Because obviously this season is a big test for Solskjaer, because obviously this is his 2nd full season at the football club, and he knows that this season he will have bigger expectations to exceed. Like I've said to you, our expectations this season will be to challenge for the Premier League title, and another one of the expectations will be to win a trophy, because we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under Solskjaer, and we have not won a major honour for over 3 years, and that's the first time this has happened in like 31 years. And obviously, this season we need to see improvements. I think this season Solskjaer's decision making has got to improve. I think there's still certain players that have got to step up to the plate. Don't get me wrong, I have seen improvements under Solskjaer at Man United. We've seen an upturn in form since January, because we haven't lost in the league since January. The last team to beat us was Burnley at Old Trafford 2-0, and that's, when they did beat us, that was their first win at Old Trafford in 58 years. So we are unbeaten in our last 14 league games. Don't forget, went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions until Chelsea beating us in the FA Cup semi-final. I think these players that have definitely improved under Solskjaer. I think our recruitment has improved under Solskjaer. So far, Solskjaer spent just over £200 million at Man United, and he has made around 4 permanent signings. Last summer brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in, and in January he bought Bruno Fernandes and Odin Igalo in. Obviously he got Igalo on loan, and plus Solskjaer's brought a few academy players into the football club. We recently signed Marc Joado from Barcelona, and we got Filip Stevanovic from Partizan Belgrade. He will be officially joining Man United next summer, because obviously he will remain at Partizan Belgrade on loan for this season. And I think there's a few other academy players we have signed. I think Solskjaer's approach to a lot of the big games last season were also very, very good. We'd taken a good 19 points against top 6 sides last season. And Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in to Man United. But there's positives to take from his tenure. Like I said, Solskjaer's been at Man United now around 19 and a half months. So he's been here now for quite a while. But last season was obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at the football club. And I think he did pretty well in his first full season, did Solskjaer. Obviously got us qualification for the Champions League. And I did say, didn't I, how important Champions League was for our players, attracting players and for the financial structure. We also progressed to 3 semi-finals. We got to the FA Cup semi-final, we got to the Europa League semi-final, and we got to the EFL Cup semi-final, and we finished third. But there again, Solskjaer said that semi-finals are not good enough. But he didn't exceed all of his expectations last season, but he exceeded most of his expectations. Obviously the expectation didn't exceed was obviously winning the Europa League. But at the first part of last season, you wouldn't have thought we'd have exceeded any expectations, because obviously at the first part of last season we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season, and at that point Solskjaer was close to getting sacked as Manchester United manager, wasn't he? But this season's going to tell the story if Solskjaer is the right manager for Man United and if he is the foreseeable future for the football club. Now, like I've said to you before, Solskjaer is inheriting a squad that is worth £700 million. This is obviously disregarding, who he's brought in. Obviously, Solskjaer's inheriting players here from the Jose Mourinho era. There's still a few players here from the Van Gaal era. I think there's Matter here from the Moyes era, and still a few players here from the Ferguson era. But the vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho, so let's just put that into the equation. But it is a transition period, like Solskjaer revealed at the beginning of the year, and it has been a transition period for a while. And this is why I said that Solskjaer does deserve at least another season at Manchester United. Now, obviously, if things don't work out next season, then I presume Solskjaer will be sacked, and then who should Manchester United get in to replace him? But I've been... at the first part of last season, I was very, very critical of Solskjaer, and so too were a lot of Manchester United fans. But there's a few things that Solskjaer has got to do at Man United. He's not only got to make signings, he's also got to put Dean Henderson as number one for this season. He actually could be number one this season. I think now Dean Henderson is reliable enough to be our number one, because obviously Dean Henderson's got that experience behind him. He just recently enjoyed 2 years on loan with Sheffield United. I thought he was very, very good for them. I thought he was Sheffield United's player of the season. But Solskjaer did recently say that Dean Henderson's not yet ready to become number one, and he was looking to loan him out again for another season. The positive news regarding Dean Henderson is it said that he's close to signing a 4-year deal with Man United worth around 100 grand a week. This would make him one of the highest paid goalkeepers in the world. It was only last year that Dean Henderson had signed a £60,000 a week contract. But yeah, if Dean Henderson signs this new contract, it'll take him under contract to us till 2024. And I think there's also an option of a further year. We know that he won't be going back to Sheffield United. But David De Gea has been our number one goalkeeper for several years. Now, I just think that David De Gea now is too much of a liability. He has been a liability in the last couple of years, reflecting on his calamitous mistakes. But Solskjaer said he wants De Gea to remain number one for at least this season. I think this season will be David De Gea's 10th season at Manchester United, so he has been a long servant. But Solskjaer was saying prior to our game against Copenhagen in the Europa League quarter-final, he said, that he is facing a goalkeeping dilemma. And he said, it'd be extremely difficult for us to keep Romero, De Gea and Henderson all at the football club for this season. I think we've also got to get Paul Pogba a new long-term contract at Manchester United. I give you the news regarding Paul Pogba recently, because Paul Pogba's agent Mini Raiola had confirmed that Paul Pogba is staying at Manchester United this summer, and he said he will hold talks over a new contract. A few weeks before last season finished, it said that Paul Pogba was close to signing a 5-year contract with Man United. And obviously, Fabrizio Romano came out and said that Paul Pogba's happy at Manchester United, and he said he wants to stay at Manchester United. And we will enter negotiations with his agent Mini Raiola over getting him a new contract at the football club. maybe contract talks have begun. But as it stands at the moment, Pogba's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for the further year. For the vast majority of last season, didn't really have a perception on Pogba because he was out with that ankle injury. Pogba has sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player. He recently celebrated his 4-year anniversary at the football club. Yes, he did. But I thought towards the end of last season, Paul Pogba was absolutely fantastic. And I thought his combination with Bruno Fernandes was very, very good. And I thought in some of our Europa League games, Paul Pogba did well. But as it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him. Around this time last year, it was looking very, very imminent that Pogba was going to be leaving the club because Pogba come out and made an admission saying that he wanted to leave Manchester United because he said he was seeking for a new challenge, and it was looking likely at one point he was going to be going to Madrid because he was talking a lot about Real Madrid. Obviously, there was talks about him possibly going back to Juventus. Pogba did enjoy 4 exceptional years with Juventus. PSG, Barcelona and Inter Milan were in for him before. But get him a new long-term contract and it will end the uncertainty over his future. By the way, just a bit of news on Harry Maguire. He faces his trial today in Greece and his lawyer does not expect him to get jail time. Now, don't forget Harry Maguire recently attended court in Greece for allegedly attacking police. So obviously Harry Maguire was arrested. So too were 2 other men. Apparently, Harry Maguire's sister had been stabbed. And Harry Maguire did spend a couple of nights in the Greek cells. Now, it's actually said that Harry Maguire could actually pay £90,000 to avoid going to jail for 3 years. And him and his friends have racked up a £63,000 bar bill. Now, obviously, when Maguire got arrested, we gave a statement out last Friday, saying that he was fully cooperating with the Greek authorities, blah, blah, blah. Then when he appeared in court, after he appeared in court, we give another statement out, obviously. But, Solskjaer's got a decision to make on Harry Maguire. We won't let Harry Maguire go, but I think, we need to take the captaincy off Harry Maguire, and I think we need to give the captaincy to either Bruno Fernandes or Paul Pogba, because they are the ones that show fantastic leadership in the team. Harry Maguire doesn't really show any good leadership. Now, this will be Harry Maguire's 2nd season at Manchester United. Obviously, last season was his 1st season at the club. He had some good games, but he also had some bad games. We got Harry Maguire in a deal worth £80 million last summer from Leicester. So he's the 2nd most expensive signing at the club and the most expensive centre-half in the world. So we need to take the captaincy off him. We're giving the captaincy reflecting on Ashley Young's departure back in January. Obviously, he went to Inter Milan after he did enjoy 8.5 years at Man United, Ashley Young. Like I said, we're going to get rid of more of the deadwood in this summer transfer window. Solskjaer's got an idea of the players he's going to get rid of. Obviously, we're looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard. We're also looking to get rid of Andres Pereira. We're also looking to get rid of Smalling, Rojo, Phil Jones, Diego Dalot. Some United fans will say we need to get rid of Eric Bay. Some United fans will say we need to get rid of Victor Lindelof. Sergio Romero, don't forget he's open to leaving Manchester United as well. He's our backup goalkeeper, is Romero. Throughout the course of last season, Romero played all our League Cup games, all our FA Cup games prior to the semi-final, and he played all our Europa League games prior to the semi-final, I think. Romero's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for the further year. Chelsea, Everton and Leeds have recently been interested. Romero has enjoyed 5 years with Man United. We got him on a free from Sampdoria back in 2015. You know, so we're definitely not going to get rid of more players. So reflect on that will generate more money and it will help us with our rebuilding process. We're set to loan a few players out as well. I just want to confirm with you. Dylan Levitt, James Garner, they're going to be put out on loan. I heard that Kovar's going to be put out on loan. And Joe Pereira, he's set to go out on loan for another season. I think he's going to be going to Huddersfield Town on loan. Joe Pereira was on loan with Hearts last season. I said, didn't I, we'd loan a few young players out. We recently loaned to Heath Chon out to Werder Bremen and that. So, these decisions that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has definitely got to make at Man United. But, yeah, he is. But like I said, I'm hopeful that we can win a title under Solskjaer. If we could do this, it would be our first title under Solskjaer and it would be our 21st title in total because as it stands at the moment, we've won 20 titles and 13 of them are Premier League. So as it stands at the moment, we are the most successful team in Premier League history. We are the most successful team in Premier League history, yeah, but we have not won the Premier League since 2013. So last time won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. But like I've said, for the last 7 years, Manchester United have been playing catch-up. We've made a lot of mistakes in the last 7 years. That's one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent. I think there's a lot of players we've brought in over the years who haven't been the right calibre players for Man United. I think there's players who we've brought in who were the right players, but, we got rid of them. I don't think we should have got rid of Herrera. We shouldn't have got rid of Romelu Lukaku. Some United fans will say we shouldn't have got rid of Angel Di Maria, etc., etc. In the last 7 years, we've had different managers with different philosophies. We've sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era, and that was Moyes, Louis van Gaal, and Jose Mourinho. We've spent a good £900 million on players since Ferguson left. And we've only won 3 trophies since Ferguson's retirement, and that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League and the League Cup under Jose Mourinho. But Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. Yes. And I think Solskjaer now has just got under 2 years left on his current contract at Man United. I think minimum he will see out his contract. Solskjaer's learned a lot, hasn't he? He's got that managerial experience behind him now, which is also very, very good. Man United is like the 3rd club in his managerial career. But yeah, like I said, we've got to make signings. There's a hell of a lot of players on our agenda. Jack Grealish, he's still on our agenda. We're still looking to get a centre-half in, like I mentioned. Some United fans would still like to see a striker coming in, despite the fact that Martial had enjoyed a good season last season for us. But we shall see. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.